Good morning, grade 2. How are you today? Let's see what will we study this week. This week's lesson is called From Field to Market. What is the meaning from field to market? It means that we get vegetables and fruits and whatever we grow in the fields and send it to the market. So the first question is, how can we turn vines into raisins? What is the meaning of vines? Vines is like grapes, okay? How can it be turned, or can we turn vines into raisins? Okay, do you know the raisins? This is a raisin. And we want to know, how can we turn vines or grapes into raisins and send it to the market for you, of course, to buy it? We have many steps that we should follow or use it to turn vines into raisins. What is the first step? The first step is picking grapes. Of course, we grow grapes or we grow vines, and when it grows well, we start to pick it from the field, okay? So the first step is picking grapes. Picking grapes. The farmers pick grapes. Step number 2, drying grapes. What is the meaning of drying grapes? It means that we should leave the grapes in the sun from 2 to 3 weeks to dry, to be dried, okay? Because of course, grapes have water inside. So when we leave grapes in the sun from 2 to 3 weeks, the water inside the grapes will be dried, okay? So first, picking grapes, drying grapes, cleaning raisins. We leave it in the sun from 2 to 3 weeks. So of course it will have garbage or sand, or we may have flies that stood on the grapes or on the raisins. So they have to wash it, or when they send it to the factory, they have to clean it or wash it, okay? So this is the third step. The first step, picking the grapes. The second step is drying grapes. The third step is cleaning raisins. It means that we wash it with water. The fourth step is sorting raisins. They send it into machines to sort the raisins from each other because we want one by one. Okay, so they start to sort it by using machines, okay, to separate the raisins from each other. So the first step is sorting raisins. After they sort the raisins, they box raisins or boxing raisins, and by the end they send it to the market for customers to buy. Yes. Okay, so how can we turn grapes into raisins? First, picking grapes. Second, drying grapes. Third, cleaning raisins. Fourth, sorting raisins, boxing raisins, and send it or ship it to the market for customers to buy it. So we have 6 steps and we have to study them in the right order from picking grapes until we send it to the market. The second point that we will speak about that how can raisins or the raisins producers use 3 kinds of resources during this process. We have 3 types of resources that were used during turning grapes into raisins. The first type of resources, that is the natural resources. The second type is human resources. And the third type of resources, they are capital resources. So how many resources did we use to turn grapes into raisins? 3 types of resources: natural resources, human resources, and capital resources. Again, natural resources, human resources, and capital resources. What are the natural resources? Of course, we studied before. The natural resources is something in nature that people use. So the first step when we want to turn grapes into raisins, first we should grow grapes. How can we grow grapes? We should use the natural resources to grow grapes. For example, the farmers, they used the soil, they used sunlight, they used water, they used the air to grow grapes. So the first natural resources that they use soil, sunlight, water, and air to grow grapes, okay? So the first type of resources, they are called natural resources. What are the natural resources? Natural resources, something in nature that people use. And what did the farmers use? They use soil, they use sunlight to grow the grapes and to grow the grapes and to dry it. They used water to water the trees of the grapes. And of course, they use the air. So the first type of resources are called natural resources. The second type of resources that they use, they are called human resources. What are human resources? The human resources like the ones who grow grapes, they are called farm workers. The second type of human resources, or the second example of human resources, and when I say human resources, you should remember people. The people in this process to turn grapes into raisins. The second one, they are the machine operators, the ones who are working in the factory to clean the raisins and to sort the raisins and to box to the raisins, the ones who are working in the factory. And of course, without workers, we will not be able to turn grapes into raisins. So machine operators, they are also part of human resources. The third example of human resources, they are salespeople, the people who are selling the raisins for you. Where do you buy it? You buy it from the market. Who sell it? The sellers. So the salespeople, they are the third example of human resources. Okay, so human resources mean people, the workers who were working or who made this process to turn grapes into raisins. So till now we have covered two types of resources: natural resources like sunlight, air, water, and soil; human resources, people like farm workers, machine operators, and sales people. Again, farm workers, machine operators, and sales people. What about the third type of resources that we used in this process? These are capital resources. What are the capital resources? They are the machines and tools and cars that we use to turn grapes into raisins, like the machines that collected or picked the grapes from the farms, the machines that we used in the factory to clean the raisins and to sort the raisins, and of course, the trucks and tools that carried the raisins from the factory to the market. So they are all different examples of capital resources. So how many types of resources do we have? Three: natural, human, and capital. Natural resources like sun, air, water, anything that's from nature, it is part of natural resource. The second type of resource is the human resources. When I say human resources, you remember people, farm workers, machine operators, and sales people. The last type of resources, they are capital resources. What are the capital resources? They are the machines and trucks and tools that were used in turning grapes into raisins. Okay, please, I want you to differentiate between the three types of resources because they are very important. And of course, they will come in the quiz and the term exam, so you have to memorize them. What about the last point that we will cover in this lesson? The word scarcity. What is it? What is the meaning of scarcity? Scarcity means that we don't have enough resources to produce all the goods and service that we want. For example, we may have a country that has capital resources, but it has capital resources and natural resources, but it doesn't have human resources. It doesn't have enough people to produce goods and services. So they start to get people from other countries to produce the goods and service and to work to make the goods and service for the country or for the people. We may have natural resources, human resources, but we don't have enough capital resources. We don't have enough machines. We don't have enough tools to produce the goods and services and to make it in a faster and easier way. So we start to buy goods, to start to buy trucks and machines from other countries to help us in our products, or to turn grapes, or to turn whatever we want, to produce all what we want in a specific time or in a good time. So we have, what is it called, scarcity. What's the meaning of scarcity? It means we don't have enough resources. We may have natural resources, human resources, but we don't have capital resources. We may have capital resources and natural resources, but we don't have human resources or people who should work to produce the goods and services that we want. Okay, so this lesson is very easy. It needs from you to study it and to watch the video more than one time to know the steps of turning grapes into raisins, to differentiate between the three types of resources: natural, human, and capital resources, and to know what is the meaning of scarcity, which is that not enough resources. We don't have enough resources to produce the goods and services. Thanks for watching a video for this week, and of course you will find a video on SMS about how can we turn grapes into raisins. Thank you, grade 2. See you later. Bye bye.